Are you looking to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! As a new player? Or maybe you're returning after some time away from the game as a veteran. Regardless of the position you may find yourself in, Link Evolution is a welcomed addition to the long-running card game franchise that's being offered in video game format and will undoubtedly have something to offer you. Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution is the newest installment in the long-running card game that has been released in the video game series, and the first installment of the series to make its way to the Nintendo Switch. Link Evolution serves as both an update to Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist that was previously released for PS4 and Xbox One, as well as the official next installment in the franchise. Unfortunately, this means that for owners of Legacy of the Duelist, there is no upgrade path to get Link Evolution, meaning that you must make a brand new purchase. But for Nintendo Switch owners, it is the only option available if you want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Link Evolution is in many ways like a new installment in the long-running Man franchise. It is more of an update to a previous game than a new standalone release, albeit it is only available as a standalone release. Because of this, Link Evolution firmly plants itself in its Legacy of the Duelist roots, lacking new elements to spice up the staleness that has persisted from the previous Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. With that being said, Link Evolution is the fullest and most robust game yet in terms of the amount of single-player content and cards to collect, coming in over a massive 10,000 cards available to build decks and duel with. Fortunately, whether you're brand new to Yu-Gi-Oh! Or have been away for a while, the game offers a plethora of tutorials at your fingertips so you can get accustomed to the rules and additions that have been made in the game's nearly 2-decade-long history. Of course, with the Nintendo Switch version, there's the additional aspect of playing in handheld mode, which fortunately allows you to utilize touch controls and play the game completely by doing so. The additional cards available are without a doubt the single largest addition and main change in Link Evolution. You can go about obtaining these cards in a multitude of ways. The simplest way is, well, by dueling of course. The main aspect of the game is dueling in single player, which consists of a campaign mode that allows you to relive some of the most memorable duels from the show's 6 main seasons. In these duels, you're able to use the character's same deck that they used at that point in the animated series, or of course utilize your own custom deck that you built. Additionally, once you complete a duel in the campaign mode, you have the option of having a reverse duel. As on the nose as it sounds, this feature simply lets you have the battle by reversing who you play as and who your opponent is. While this does add some replayability, it's only minimal, as by this time you're probably already going through your opponents with relative ease. Unfortunately, with the game being so rooted in its previous incarnation, Link Evolution carries over some lackluster concepts. Even though it's nice to battle through historic moments of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise, the lack of a proper story is quite shameful and leads to a rather stale single-player experience. What makes this worse is that the game uses still character portraits and text boxes to portray dialogue, but with no voice acting to go along with it. This leads to a very boring experience when dueling through the campaign. Unfortunately, something that adds to the staleness present in Link Evolution is the inclusion of generic maps with very minimalistic backgrounds. While Link Evolution features 1 or 2 songs that resonated with me during my 100 plus hours of put-in, they are the same ones present in Legacy of the Duelist, and by the end of the second hour, I had already heard each song multiple times. Both of these aspects could have simply been improved upon, and it's a shame that the soundtrack is lacking anything energetic, while the duels could have added a lot more character simply by having more detailed backgrounds, or perhaps even a stage select for players to choose from. Additionally, there were multiple occasions in which duels came to a standstill because the computer opponent was thinking too hard apparently, which led to a drastic amount of slowdown. I've only noticed the slowdown when dueling with more up-to-date decks such as Pendulum and Link-focused decks, and only on the computer's turn. Nonetheless, it was relatively prevalent in many of the later duels in the campaign and really slowed things down. Though, on a positive note, a minor change to the game is that instead of every time a deck boss would attack, like Kaiba's Blue Eyes White Dragon, and especially at very low quality cutscene will play, the deck's boss animation now only plays when it is summoned. This was a much needed change, as having the animation play during attacks really slowed down the duels. Single player also consists of duelist challenges, which allow you to battle against more challenging and competent opponents than found in the campaign. These opponents make use of more specialized decks, and this is my preferred mode when playing single player, as this is the closest you can get to having a challenge, other than playing against people online. The other single player mode is the Battle Pack, which is the equivalent of opening a few packs of random cards and features both draft and sealed play. Draft play allows for you to pick your cards and form a deck, while sealed play randomizes your deck. This mode is fun solely for the reason that you can go into a duel with a silly, non-balanced deck, and the added challenge that this provides is always fun. With the Battle Pack game mode, you also have the option of playing online. Also, There is an online-only mode which consists of ranked, player, and local matches, with ranked matches following official ruling, while player and local matches allow for alterations to certain aspects of the rule sets, such as player turn time and the amount of life points one has starting out. Regardless of the game mode you choose, you earn both cards and duel points, the latter of which allow for you to buy booster packs containing cards from the card shop. Though many owners of the older legacy of the Duelist will find the Link evolution to be overwhelmingly similar and lacking added incentives outside of new cards to justify the purchase, it is nonetheless the most comprehensive and up-to-date video game based on the card franchise. Ultimately, Link Evolution is a game that provides an ease of access to fans of Yu-Gi-Oh! At any age and level, with a minimal cost eliminating the usually high barrier of entry for individuals looking to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Or those who wish to get back into it. Even with its downfalls like the lack of a fleshed out story mode and overly generic playsets and music, Link Evolution proves its value by being the only modern and purely authentic iteration of Yu-Gi-Oh! Available to play on the go.